This is going to be a complete guide for newer and advanced players to learn Visage for the offlane. This guide will give you the entire blueprint of how to master this hero and gain lots of MMR. Let's get to it. So, Visage is one of the strongest offlane pub heroes. This hero can completely dominate the entire map if you use the Death Toll faucet correctly. Visage's second spell makes him one of the most unique heroes when it comes to snowballing the game. Before we start, I want to break this myth where it's so hard to micro heroes. I'll show you my settings. I only use one control group for my birds, and the way I use them is I simply auto attack the hero in front of me, and from time to time I'll press my stun by pressing tab and then stun, which is tab and Q for me. I do not recommend you to use the default stun on the hero. Just use tab and try to stun with both the birds. To be a good offlaner, you have to master how to read the game and make all the decisions logically and not emotionally. Offlane is a role that tests your patience, and you always need to think about the best move to make in the game. Let's talk about Visage's spells. Visage's first spell, Grave Chill, drains movement and attack speed from enemies. It allows Visage to gain an advantage while lacerating, and also allows Visage to set up kills by slowing enemy heroes. Visage's second spell, Soul Assumption, is the strongest ability of this hero. Every time your allies are fighting or take up to 100 damage, Visage gains a charge of Soul Assumption. For every charge, Visage does 70 damage with a base damage of 20. The way you want to use this spell is to always spam it when you gain max charges on the lane and in fights. But make sure that you are either lacerating kills with it, or remember that Soul Assumption has a 3-second debuff. If you kill the hero during this debuff, you will gain the extra gold. This will be your main source of damage and gaining gold. Visage's third spell, Gravekeeper's Cloak, is what makes him tanky. He has a total of 4 layers, and for each layer, he has up to 20% damage reduction, which means when you have max layers, you will gain 80% damage reduction. And lastly, Visage's Summon Familiars, Visage Birds, allow him to take down objectives, take Rosh, and stun enemy heroes. This spell combined with your Soul Assumption helps you track down and kill enemy heroes in fog. Just remember that your birds also gain your passive, which is Gravekeeper's Cloak, which means that the higher points you have in your third skill, the more tanky your birds will become. Keep in mind not to use this spell for Tormentors, as your birds will die instantly due to damage reflect, and to drop them down when enemies fortify their structures. Also, Rosh prioritizes the birds, so you have to be careful so they do not die to Rosh. When Visage buys the Aghanim shard, he can use Gravekeeper's Cloak as an active ability, and he can gain up to 25% of his missing health. You would want to use this spell in situations where you are stuck. For example, if Mars presses Arena, Shadow Demon uses Purge, it is better to go into Stone form and wait for these spells to wear off and then reset and join the fight again. This also makes you very tanky in fights, as it helps you reset your Gravekeeper's Cloak charges. When you purchase the Aghanim Scepter, you gain a new ability called Silent as the Grave. This makes you and your birds invisible for up to 30 seconds, and upon breaking the invisibility, you gain 20% bonus damage. Moreover, whenever you're invis, you gain 20% bonus movement speed. So this is a very strong ability for when you want to go behind enemy lines and you want to kill the enemy supports. And I recommend buying Aghanims whenever you have Orchid in order to kill these backline supports by going invis. One small thing that I would like to add before I proceed with the video for the spells is that your Gravekeeper's Cloak applies in an AoE. So if your birds are in this AoE, they will gain this Gravekeeper's effect. Otherwise they will not, and they can instantly die. So make sure that your birds are close enough or in this AoE so that they continue to get this effect. Also, you can alt cast the Summon Familiars, and when you do this, if the spell is available to use, then these birds will follow you across the map and you can recall them wherever you want to recall them. But if the spell is on cooldown, you can't recall them. This is how you can have your birds at multiple places across the map. For this guide, you want to go for this build. You want to always get Soul Assumption level 1, then 1 point in Grave Chill, and then Soul Assumption again. And on level 4, you get your Gravekeeper's Cloak. Afterwards, you want to max out your Soul Assumption, then your third skill. Keep in mind that you do not want to take talents until you have maxed out all of your basic skills with this 1-4-4 build. You will become a very tanky hero and you will provide insane damage with your nuke. For the talents, you want to take both the Grave Chill talents. This will make your first skill very strong at level 15 and you will have almost no downtime, or zero downtime, which gives you and your birds insane movement and attack speed. But for level 15, sometimes you can experiment with Soul Assumption, targets multiple targets, if you want to do more nuke damage, as some lineups might be very strong against physical damage such as Timbersaw, Bristleback, or any other tanky hero, as they do not care about your physical damage. So you either ignore them completely or you can take them down using this Soul Assumption talent. But remember, it is not your job to deal with these heroes in the first place. So it's better to just take the Gravechill talents. But if you do feel like experimenting, then you can go for it. For level 20, take the Armored Corruption talent, as around this time you want to approach high ground and you want to take enemy buildings. And for level 25, you want to take the third Familiar to help you boost up your damage and structure damage even more. But games mostly won't go too late, but if they do, you will have a great tool to eventually close out the game. But if your birds cannot survive at all, then you take the 25 talent for the armor to help your birds become a little bit tankier. Every game your items should look something like this. In early game, buy 2 circlets, 3 branches and 2 mangoes, as your job on the lane will be to spam your Soul Assumption on enemy heroes and get kills. Afterwards, upgrade these branches to a wand if enemies have a lane where both heroes are casting spells, otherwise get a null to help you gain more mana and attack damage. Your first big item will be to get Tranquils. This will help you gain movement speed and is going to help you recover HP if enemies use spells on you. Your first main power spike item will be drums. They act as a substitute for Gravechill, as you only have 1 point in it in this build. So try to spam these drums for every objective and every kill. Do not be afraid to use this as many times as possible. Your second item highly depends upon the nature of the game. If you are playing against escape heroes like Storm, Puck, Ember, you have to buy an Orchid to help your team kill these heroes. But if enemies have multiple heroes that do magic damage and have ways to catch, and your team has tools to catch heroes that are hard for you to catch, then you need to build a pipe. If enemies have multiple cores that do physical damage, you want to get Crimson. Do not buy both Crimson and Pipe, as it will delay the rest of your items and delay the item timing of your Boots of the Bearing. Your third item will always be Boots of Bearing. This will reset all of your drum charges, and with max Gravechill and max drums, you will have insane attacks and movement speed, and it is also a great aura for your team. In some games, however, if your team lacks a hero that can frontline, buy your shard before the Boots of Bearing. The way you want to use this shard is when enemies burn out all of your damage reduction layers, you want to use your shard. When you will resurface, you will have layers of damage reduction again, and you will tank a lot for your team. For example, when you get purged by Shadow Demon, you can go into stone form, because in this purge you aren't able to really run away or do anything, so you can just go into stone form. And if you get coiled, you can also go into stone form. If you get arena'd, you can also get into stone form. So this shard will really help you deal with these big spells and will make you very, very tanky. For your fourth item, if you have an Orchid, try to build an Axe. But if not, always go for Assault. This Assault will help you gain minus armor, and you will easily siege high ground and finish games. If you get it really early, you will simply destroy the game. I have experimented with items like Shivas. Sometimes the Shivas can be a great third item in games where you want to do extra magic damage and you want to chase heroes down. Having extra movement speed with drums and then the ability to kite enemies using Shivas will be insanely valuable, and it will also make your entire team do extra magic damage and also make your Soul Assumption a lot stronger. Now I will tell you some matchups and pairs with which Visage is strong and some in which Visage is very weak, but this doesn't mean that you can't pick him every game. Just be careful not to go too crazy against certain heroes. Heroes that do well with Visage are most melee heroes, Tusk being the best pair, as your Gravechill works really well with tag team. Other heroes that are really good with Visage are Bounty Hunter, as his nukes help you gather Soul Assumption charges faster, and the Death Toll talent plus the Bounty Hunter track helps you gain insane amounts of gold. Other good pairings are Nyx Assassin, Hoodwink, Marcy, Doom, Tiny, Clock. Other heroes can work with Visage as well, but you cannot be as aggressive with them, and you might be vulnerable to dying, as Visage needs some hero to sort of frontline for him so he can freely cast Soul Assumption on lane. Heroes that do well against Visage on lane are tanky heroes that do not care much about Soul Assumption. Monkey King is one of the hardest matchups. If it is a good Monkey King player, he will jump on you and kill you while dodging your Soul Assumption with Mischief. Other heroes that are good are Dragonite, Medusa, Morphling, any hero that can tank through your Soul Assumption and can hold the safe lane tower. But again, this doesn't mean that you cannot pick Visage or win with Visage in these matchups and into these heroes. I will explain the game plan now. For the game plan, before the game starts, try to always call out your team to go for a smoke. This hero is the strongest hero when it comes to fighting for bounty rounds pre-game. If you get a kill or two, you can start with twice as much net worth than enemy hero and simply destroy him due to the fact that you have an extra item or two and the enemy won't be able to stand against you and then end up feeding. For the lane, your job as an offlaner will always be to bring the lane into your zone, which is near your tower. So try to aggro the first wave and try to bring creeps back always. Because you cannot kill enemies if they are under their tower, and it is very hard to kill heroes level 1. If enemies are under tower, they will always fog you out if you try to use multiple instances of soul assumption. Moreover, every time you get max charges of soul assumption, keep spamming it on enemy carry or the pause 5 if he is low HP. But mostly the enemy carry. You want to make the enemy carry lose all of his resources so you can last hit freely, and every time you get a kill, you will get a new item, making it harder for the enemies to stay on the lane. Also, since you have mangoes, you want to non-stop purchase mangoes and spam your second skill. You want to burn enemy region as much as possible before the 3rd minute mark, because at the 3rd minute mark they will have infused raindrops, and then it will be harder for you to abuse the soul assumption. As soon as you hit level 6 or you are about to hit level 6, you need to see if it is possible for you to take the tower by yourself. If your position 4 has left you to go to the safe lane, you can just follow him. Try to gain as many kills with soul assumption as possible. Do not care if the enemy carry is farming. The more kills you get, the bigger the snowball effect can become and you can take over the game. The normal game plan though is to take bot tower, then move mid with drums, take mid tower, then go top, and then farm enemy neutrals and kill them with your supports until your carry is ready to do Rosh. After Rosh, you want to take over the tier 2 towers and eventually prepare for high ground. This is mostly the game plan for most zoo heroes such as Beast, Lycan, Brood, etc. I'll show you 2 to 3 games in which I have played to show this game plan to you. In both games, one game was sort of ideal and the other games were kind of hard, so this will help you gain a better understanding of how I think about the hero and how you can learn this hero easily. So this is the game which I would consider ideal. I started the game off with not the best rune fight, but I still get a kill under the soul assumption effect. This means that I got a bunch of extra gold to start off the game, like I am 110, and after this one kill, I get up to 400. So this means that once the game starts, I'll have an item that I can use on the lane. So as soon as I respawn, I get my magic wand, and after like a bounty run or two, like I think I'll just TP with my tangos. So I already start the lane with like at 1000 net worth, and the Ursa is 700 net worth. So this lane, as well as the pairing goes, that I'm playing with Tusk, and Tusk is one of the best pairs with this hero, even though he started off with Snowball. But now my job on the lane would be simply to spam out the soul assumption. You saw it right here, like as soon as I get 3 charges, I need to spam the soul assumption. Now what this does is that this guy has 3 tangos, this Pugna has 6, but it doesn't really matter. I just want to burn out his HP as much as I can, so that when we get to our level 2, that's gonna be our first power spike. The first power spike means that I'll have Grave Chill level 1, and this guy will have either shards or tag team. So this is like a guaranteed kill. You can still kill heroes at level 1, but it's very easy to kill heroes level 2. So don't try to force kills at level 1. Just wait for level 2, get your soul assumption, and you can get kills on the enemies. So I'm trying to hit him as many times as I can. I am a universal hero. I get my level 2. So your job is to always hit the enemies when there's a deny that you can't get, or there's a CS that you can't get. Since you're a ranged hero, try to hit the Ursa as many times as possible. You can see here I sort of drag the wave. I'm still fighting this Pugna. I'm trying to fight them as much as possible. I'm making this guy use his self. They're using a lot of regen just to play the lane. So lane is going super good. I have a very decent lane partner. I'm trying to hold the creeps on my side, which is near my tower, and now lane is sort of in the center. So this is the point where you want to go for kills. So you want to bring the wave either in the center or here. Why? Because when you have this sort of position on the lane, you can easily kill enemy heroes, but if they're under their tower, they can simply go into these trees and they can dodge your soul assumption. So lane is in the center, creeps are still pushing into me, which is very good. Pugna is pushing in the wave because he wants to secure that range creep, and now I'm in a perfect position. My lane is over here, everything is super good. Now enemies have to come here or they have to pull this camp, but this camp is blocked, so they have to fight us here for the creeps. If they don't come for the creeps, everything will get denied, and if they do, they might just end up dying. So Tusk hit level 2, Ursa is super low HP. I'm continuously spamming my soul assumption, and lane is going very, very good for me. I'm 1700, he's 1500. So far, hasn't been a kill yet, but you'll see very soon that what happens when this hero starts getting kills. So Ursa has to go back. They're out of regen now because I have been spamming my soul assumption. I still have my mangoes. I still have a lot of mana. I can still spam a lot more. So you'll see you see this like net worth is slowly dropping. Ursa can't lane anymore. Ursa's losing a bunch of HP, he's losing a lot of health, and that's why he can't approach the creeps. And if he does approach the creeps, he might just end up dying. So we're gonna wait. Eventually we'll end up killing this, either this Pugna or this Ursa. So they do have raindrops, but I have 2 points in soul assumption. I end up getting a kill. As soon as I get the kill, I jump to top net worth. I get 400 kill for just one kill. So see this, like how insane this is. Like I just get one kill and I get 400 gold. If I get another, I get 400 more, and then eventually I'll be like insane amounts of net worth. So let's see. Skip ahead. I skip ahead. Another small fight. We're fighting, fighting, fighting. Lich TP's in at a perfect time. I get another kill, another 400 gold. I'm 3.3 now at 5 minutes. So I'm level 6 now. Now, level 6, I almost have my drums, and both of these things will come together. And with this drums, your job is to normal game plan, take top tower, go mid, take mid tower, take bot tower, play around these ancients. Don't let the enemies farm. If anybody shows up on vision, you keep killing them. So we hit level 6. Now it becomes even harder for this Ursa to play. Since most of my damage is going to be from my soul assumption, the way I micro my birds is simply through, like, I just select them and I try to chain stun them. Chain stun with my team stuns, because more damage, the most damage that's gonna come is through soul assumption. It's not gonna come through my birds. So get another kill with soul assumption. I'm 4.2 at 7, and I do have my drums. In this game, enemies have Puck. We don't really have any catch for him. We do have catch, but not direct catch. Like I want like this Puck to die every time we catch him. So like I'm buying Orchid for this guy, even though they have a save, it doesn't really matter. I still want a reliable catch for Puck. I use my drums plus my grave chill, and I as soon as I get my, and look here what I did here. Like I made sure that I got the kill with soul assumption. So at 8 minutes, I'm already 5k net. This is sort of an ideal game. Lane went really well, Lich helped out, everything went very, very smooth. I get the tower, bam. So now your job isn't to care about this Ursa, right? This Ursa, who cares? Okay, like this guy has nothing. My job is to go to other lanes and give the same amount of pressure to other lanes and play the map as fast as I can. Like I don't care if this Ursa is farming top lane. I want to be everywhere on the map and I want to fight with my team. So I push this wave and then I walk mid. Now next objective, mid tower, mid heroes, alright? So we walk mid. I'm trying to wrap around mid with my support. We press drums. Pugna is dying. If I get another kill with soul assumption, it will be very good. Unfortunate. I think I got the kill and it was 3 seconds. Let's see again. So yeah, he dies under the soul assumption effect, so I get extra gold. So I already have 6k net at like 9 minutes. I don't have a lot of CS, but I have a lot of kills. So you continuously want to fight like this, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep getting gold with soul assumption. So I mean, even an alchemist can't have this much net worth at like 10 minutes. This is absolutely like insane. Nobody in the game can have this much net worth. So like I said before, game plan very simple. You just want to take top, take mid, take bot. All right, so I'm already mid, and another thing that I do here is that I play for the runes. I don't want this Puck to get any runes. If my Pango is getting every single rune, it means he will be the stronger mid laner. So after winning top, I'm here now, and now because of me being here, like Pango can get the runes. Unfortunately, I didn't see this shit was happening, so like Pango died or whatever. We are still getting kills with soul assumption. I'm 7k net now. Enemies are trying to defend, but simply due to like this network difference, and like the heroes that we have, they just can't fight us back. And like I'm getting kill after kill after kill. So I have 8k now at 11. I have my orchid and my drums. Meanwhile, this guy only has treads on puck. So this is the sort of snowball that happens in an ideal game. And now non-stop we're gonna keep looking for kills, keep killing enemies, keep killing enemies. I already have my boots of bearing. Think yeah, I don't end up buying it in this game because I already have so many charges. I still have 3 charges on this, and if I get like super early assault, like I'm already aiming for assault and it's only 12 minutes into the game. So this is one of my best games on this hero, and sometimes games look like this. So we are warding enemy sides, and like if anyone tries to deward this shit, we can always fight them on these words with our visage. So haven't gone here. I haven't cared about this Ursa ever since. I haven't farmed anywhere safe. I'm non-stop staying at their side and fighting as much as I can. So now we end up taking tier 2s. Normally I approach these tier 2s when I have 2 points in birds, but since this game is like already 13k lead at like 13 minutes, I can do this, and doesn't really matter like if enemies show up or not. So unfortunately I died to this bristleback. He has like this slow. Doesn't really matter. I have to just respawn and keep going, keep fighting, keep fighting, keep fighting. So I'm controlling their ancients. Ursa has been farming, but like it doesn't really matter. It's hard for him to return, like a comeback after that lane. Mid tier 2 is gone. Now we're approaching high ground. So we're approaching high ground at 16, and I have like 12k net worth at like this time. And during all of this, since there was so much pressure because of like my Tusk and my Lich and my Pango and me, that this morph had this entire place to himself. So this is like an ideal game because I was fighting so much and not really farming. This gives a lot of space to my morphling to also farm and play the game like easily. So I mean, we're continuously fighting, and like eventually this game is gonna be over. I already have my 12 birds. I'm sieging high ground with my grave chill. In this game, I only took like 2 points in this because like I was just stomping so much. So I didn't feel like I had to max it out or frontline or anything because we already had lit shield. But normally you would want to max this grave keeper's cloak. It's the best spell that you can get, and like damage reduction matters a lot. And also due to the fact that I didn't really upgrade my drums, so I ended up getting more points in grave chill. But if you're starting out, if you're learning this hero, don't try to stray away from like the normal sort of skill build. Try to get really comfortable with the basic skill build that I have presented in this video, and then eventually you can change it up to however you feel like. I have like a lot of games on this hero now that I feel like I can change it up a little bit uh, according to the game, but like you don't really have to do this. Just first learn how to play the game like this. So main like game plan, if I revise everything that happened, why this happened. Lane was very easy. Tusk Visage, very strong combo. We brought the lane in our side level 2, and we got a bunch of kills after this Lich TP. As soon as the Grave Chill, as soon as the Soul Assumption kills got stacked up, we got a lot of gold. We got our drums, we took top tower, we went mid, we fought mid, we got our Orchid at 10, and then the game was just over. Like they didn't really have an answer to anything. So normally this is like what can happen in like a super ideal game. You can see how much net worth I have. So this was an example of an ideal game. Now we'll talk about a game with which I didn't have such a good start or didn't have that much impact. This game, I have a horrible start. I get a kill on the lane, but I ended up dying and I TP'd back in, and Bounty is standing over here, and I think I'll go down once again, and I don't have a TP. So these are the moments in the game where you feel like, oh, my game is just over, you know, like I TP'd in and I died again, and now I'm gonna lose a bunch of creeps. But you have to realize that this spell really makes it so that Visage can come back. And any offlane player that's watching this, like you guys need to realize that the laning phase doesn't matter at all. If you make the correct decisions as the game goes on, there's a big chance that you can still play the game. Laning doesn't mean anything. Like it's a myth that if you lose the lane, you lose the game. Lane is like maximum like 5 minutes, 6 minutes of the game. You just have to play like super chill. You don't really care what happens. So I came back to the lane. Drow is like above really like far ahead of me, and like they've already gotten their raindrops. They have a bunch of stick charges. It's almost impossible for me to kill them now. Like me and Bounty were very strong early on, but we weren't playing together. So now we're struggling a lot to do anything, any sort of pressure on the lane. Dro is double my levels, double my CS, almost double my net worth. Bounty ends up dying again, and I'll end up dying as well. So lane is going horrible. I'm sort of tilting a little bit, but deep down I know that like there is a comeback mechanic to this game, and I shouldn't be so scared, or I shouldn't be so tilted, you know. So draw 1k above. I've died 3 times now. I die again. This shaker ganks me. So I'm level 3, draws level 6. Like this is like complete garbage game, you know, like there's no coming back from this, right? But I'll slowly like show you how I come back into this game even though I've died once again. So 5 deaths, 14 CS, draw is triple my net worth almost. Game seems hopeless, right? So let's see what I do to come back from this game. Bounty is going mid, Bounty is going bot. He's running around doing his own thing, and rightly so. Like we can't really do much on this lane anymore. Even if I do think that he should be here, it's like wrong. So they end up bringing the Magnus here, who's their position 4, I think. Yeah, he's their position 4. He ends up coming top. Shaker comes top, so they realize that like Visage is really weak. We can keep killing this hero, and we can sort of come back into the game. So I recognize here that like can't really stay top. He's level 8 now, which is insane, and like like I'm 5 levels behind him. So I end up going bot. So this was the best move that I could have made. This is a move which can sort of bring me back into the game, and these are the moves that you would want to make. So I end up going bot. I help get us a kill. I didn't really get the soul assumption kill that I was looking for, but I still get a kill on their Sand King who was cutting the wave. So if your game is going bad, make sure that you make the enemies offlaner game bad. You know, like both offlaners can cancel each other out. So I end up going top again because there's a wave under my tower, and I solo again to draw. I'm queuing up Midas. I'm sort of tilted. I'm like, man, like if someone is just playing with me, you know, like we can come back. So I'm giving you this example that like even at like a higher bracket, people still get tilted. I'm getting tilted. Like I don't know what to do here, but I still know that like we can come back if I stay here on this lane and I can get some kills. Like there's a chance that we can come back into this game. Enemies are 6k above, so let's see where the comeback eventually happens. So we see the disruptor is for the Sand King's farming stacks. All right, I'm level 4. I have no birds. I have nothing. I have no drums, nothing. But like I show up here, I get 100 gold from this assist, alright, sort of assist. I walk mid, I still have soul assumption level 5. I get soul assumption gold, I think, from this kill. Almost get soul assumption gold. Yeah, I get the kill and soul assumption kill. So one kill with soul assumption. Look at this. I was 2.8. I get one kill with soul assumption. I'm 3.7. I'm the same net worth as my Earth Spirit who's mid. I get my birds. We get another kill, I think, here with track. I'm 4.3. So one decent fight, literally one decent fight brought me back into this game. So I instantly buy drums. I buy drums, I farm top. I'm farming a little bit more. Sand King comes top. I'm farming top with my birds, and now I'm participating in every single fight. I stun this guy, he uses RP, whatever, it doesn't matter. I get my gold back. So 5.1. Another kill. 6.3. Now I'm above my Earth Spirit. I'm almost the same net worth as Drew. This guy was double my net worth. Only because I'm participating with my hero and I'm using Soul Assumption. Simply because of this. And like just joining one correct fight. So even though the game seemed hopeless, I also had Midas queued up. Like I'll be honest, like I thought the game was over. But I mean, this just goes to show that like this hero is insanely strong. Like you can participate in fights and you just don't care. Like it can still reward you a lot. So I feed here, but it doesn't matter. And like I want to show you like my net worth around 20 minutes. So around 20 minutes. Now I am 8.3. I'm above the Sand King by 1k. I'm right back into the game. I have my pipe. I'm almost have my shard. So game looks amazing for me. And now this Row Ranger will die one more time, I think. Yep, I kill her and like I'm not 9.3. So this is a game in which like I had no lane at all. Like I was 6, I was level 3, Drow was level 8. I came back to this game through solo assumption kills. I still have awesome impact in the game. I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. I ended up fighting non-stop like I did in that ideal replay that I just showed you, and I was able to come back into this game. Simply participating in fights with solo assumption brought me back into this game. Staying on the lane meant that I was not only feeding Drow like free creeps on the lane, but I also fed her with my own hero. So game was completely hopeless. But simply by recognizing that like I have to participate with in fights with my team, I ended up coming back into this game. So this is how you need to play in a game which isn't in your favor. I'll show you another game after this. So this game isn't necessarily the same as last game, but like I do get a decent start. I get first blood. I have like two items to start the game off. But the problem in this game is that I'm laning against this DK, and eventually, like you'll see, like when I hit level 6, I won't be able to pressure this tower. So in this game, I sort of change up that game plan. The normal game plan, like I said, take bot tower, take mid tower, go top, right? But this game, there's a DK. He's really tanky. It's minute 3. He has bracer raindrop. Like it's like very awkward now. It's hard to kill this hero. I'm 3-1. I did my best on the lane. So now I have to think like how can I be of value in this game, right? Like I learned from my last replay. So what you have to do in this game is enemy doom, like what is his power spec, what is tiny's power spec. You have to see the power specs of the enemies, what makes them strong, what makes my mid laner strong. So in this game I have a Lina who's gonna be level 6 very soon. So if I'm at mid around the point where Lina is level 6, I can help her get kills with Laguna Blade, right? Because if I have added damage with soul assumption, we can end up killing this tiny and we can take mid tower. It's very hard to expect your teammates to know where they should be on the map. Ideally, like in games, what people need to do is like they need to follow Visage and help Visage open objectives. But since your team can't really be here, like you have to be with your team, right? So my Lina almost level 6, my Spectre gonna be 6 can help us get this kill on Tiny. Other thing that I'm thinking about is that once this Doom gets level 6, he's gonna kill this Spectre, right? Because like he's gonna get Doom, Spectre's gonna get Doom, Spectre's gonna die. So I can help diffuse this situation on top if I show up before this guy hits 6, or I can help this guy kill Tiny if I go mid with this Spectre's Haunt, like things can work out. So let's see what happens. I hit level 6. I'm gonna hit level 6 very soon. Um, all right, so I'm level 6 right about now. EQ got 6 before me. So you see this, like this is the point which I'm talking about, right? Doom level 6, Spectre dying, Doom has to just press Doom. He wants to Doom somebody here. I TP in, all right. This is very, very, very strong TP. I TP in, I summon my birds at top. I kill this Doom with Soul Assumption. I get my drums. Doom wasn't able to use his stuff, and like we tried to get the Bane, but I think Bane runs away. Yeah, Bane ran away. Alright, unlucky. So, oh, never mind. We killed him. So, very good. We got the Bane kill, we got the Doom kill, and I moved from top to mid, and we got like another kill. And like, I'm waiting for this Doom to show up top again. Tiny has haste, hard to kill him. I can't really go bot. There's no TP on me. Gates are far away. I look at this Bane. He just placed a ward. So, I'm waiting for this Doom to drive in the Spectre again. So he really wants this kill on Spectre, right? So he fucked up and I punished him once again. He ends up dying. Another big kill for us. Like this Doom isn't able to start his game, because he needs to open this tower. Since we're protecting this tower, their game is getting slowed down, which is what we need for this Spectre to have a good start in this game. So Lena's having a good time because I'm doing all the rotations and stuff, because like normally Lena would want to TP if Spectre was here, but because I'm running around and getting kills, I'm getting net worth. Also this Shaman is getting some net worth because I'm running around on the map, and Spectre is having a good time because she's not dying. So then since like this tower and was pretty low, Spectre wasn't on the tower anymore. Tower's almost dead. So we're like, we can't really do anything mid because Lina just pushes out mid. Nothing's gonna happen top, so I end up going bot. And now with this siege creep, I think we're gonna open this tower up. All right, we try to defend this top tower. What happened here? Alright. So I use gates with my team. Alright. We use gates with our team and we're continuously fighting. That's the game plan. We keep fighting, because we're very strong. They end up using Doom. Now for the next 2 minutes, we're gonna be very strong because they don't have Doom. I'm continuously fighting. I am 6k net worth, even though I have 28 CS. You see this? Like, this is the main thing about this hero. Even if you don't have any lasters, like I'm bottom of the core in terms of lasters, but I'm everywhere. I'm just fighting nonstop, being there for my team, using my stuns, using my soul assumption, using soul assumption. Like you can see how I'm fighting, and this is giving a lot of space for this guy to farm, a lot of space for my Spectre. She's getting opportunities to participate in these kills and stuff, and we're getting a lot of kills. So Doom dies once again, Venge dies, and this Tiny dies. So, and you can notice this, notice here, like I really walked into Tiny and waited for my soul assumption so I could get that extra bit of gold. So that matters a lot since I'm not really farming anything. And with 28 CS, I'm like top of that worth. So this was a game which sort of became ideal simply because I was making the right moves. So even if like you have rough games or you have like hard games, don't forget like MMR isn't based on laning phase. Just be strong, don't make emotional decisions, and think logically like where you can apply pressure in the map and where can you give value in the game. So yeah. One more thing before I end this video is that the best time to go Rosh is usually after you have level 12. Your level 2 birds are very strong and do twice as much damage as level 6 birds. So your call would be to go to Rosh around 18 to 20 minutes. You can take Rosh on either side, but mostly the Rosh call depends on your carry. Your hero is very good at taking Rosh since you buy drums, and drums is an item that helps you take different objectives, which include the towers and Rosh. If you secure Aegis, you can take over more areas of the map. The more areas you control with this hero, the lesser and lesser farm enemies will have, and slowly you will win the game by controlling more and more resources. And when you're approaching high ground, do not force it until you have gotten your assault cuirass. This item is very important before you siege high ground, but if the game is absolutely stomped, you can easily go high ground without it. But always remember that your hero is very strong on high ground only after assault. Do not try to force high ground without Aegis and without this item. Also remember that whenever you're pushing high ground, use Grave Chill and your drums and make sure only your birds are hitting the high ground. You do not want your hero to go into a bad position. Just let your birds siege high ground and you can stay at a safer spot. But do remember that you're close enough to the birds because you have to be close to the birds in order for them to gain the Gravekeeper's Cloak effect. I feel like the hero is slept on and I have been having a lot of success with it lately. I recommend you guys to try it out and abuse this death toll while it still exists in the game. Also, do check out my Discord. I offer private coaching there, and also do not forget to check out Dota Academy. I have covered many hero guides in our academy, and you can gain access to all of the previous content I have done for heroes there. Best of luck for your